Hola bandidos, welcome to Mel's Magic. As I promised, I'm starting a whole new playlist of videos where I'd like to talk more specifically about my experience of depression and anxiety and the way I got out of it. I feel it's a super important topic given the statistics of just the sheer amount of people of us who are either directly affected, who struggle with mental health, or who, at least in second degree, know of someone, whether it be family or friends, who are affected by depression or anxiety or other forms of mental unwellness. And it's insane. To put it very blunt, we are a pretty insane society. And I really want to speak from my true experience. So I'm not necessarily saying something new, but I feel that it is of utter importance that each one of us speaks from an essential truth, an experience, a lived truth, and that everyone's voice is important, and that because of the stigma around depression and mental illness, it's getting better, but I guess there's still a lot of stigma out there just because we tend to put this topic in the closet and not talk so openly about it. So because it's been something that I have gone through and lived through, and because I feel it's very important, and we are in this huge, amazing time of humanity where healing is probably the center theme, I feel it's important that I share my story too and voice my truth with you too. And I was thinking where to start, and it's difficult because I can, just like with my energy readings, I had a I didn't want to have a kind of huge plan and then block myself out of just overwhelm. So I just today said I'm going to start, and whatever flows will flow. But I guess maybe the theme I want to start with today, or the theme I want to anchor my video today, is appreciation. And it's something that I'm cultivating now. It's something that helps me every day to love myself more. And I'm trying to talk about self-love in the most comprehensive way, because the lack of self-love is the number one factor, one of the main factors that was at the cause, at the root of my lifelong depression. I didn't appreciate myself, probably because I didn't know how to appreciate myself. I remember this one instance in Thailand when I was working and living in Thailand, and I was leading a group of students. I used to be a teacher, a group of students into this museum, and there was a big sign, "Know thyself." And I took a picture of myself with this sign in a kind of mirror portrait. And it's one of those things, one of those cliche quotes that we hear, not know thyself. But what does it really mean? And I think it's only now that I'm really getting to know myself, really working at understanding myself, because we can only really love and appreciate something if we at least try and understand it. So I'm in this process of learning to love myself by looking at my past, understanding where certain patterns, certain reactions come from what core wounding it comes from, and where triggers point towards parts that still need healing. And that allows me to increase my self-awareness and increase my self-acceptance, my capacity to forgive myself, and next step to love myself, to appreciate myself. And I guess I never appreciate, I'm coming to terms with now, and it's so obvious, but the the notion that I'm very, very sensitive. I never used to appreciate that. Perhaps I used to judge myself for that, because I guess with high sensitivity, it can be a double-edged sword. So not only do you feel a lot or a wide range of emotions, but they can also be very overwhelming. And if you don't know how to handle them, you think something is wrong with you, or you're literally swamped, or like a tidal wave inundated by emotions, and they take you over and it doesn't feel useful, so you tend to judge yourself. So something I'm learning to appreciate now is my high sensitivity. It allows me to be creative in a myriad of ways. It allows me to have empathy with other people, to increasingly develop higher sensitivity for, you know, become, develop also my psychic abilities because of that sensitivity. And it allows for this huge capacity for beauty, appreciation of beauty. All of that comes from an inert sensitivity, and I'm learning now to appreciate that. In the past, it was rather a burden and rather something I would curse or suffer under, because it caused, as I said, these emotions I never knew how to handle. And one of the core issues from my childhood was that, of course, I didn't know as a kid that I was very open emotionally. So I absorbed a lot of energies from my immediate environment, from my family environment. And I didn't know how to handle it, how to negotiate, how to filter, how to process these emotions. What I would do would be to repress and depress feelings I could not make sense of. And the accumulation of repressed and depressed emotions causes is one of the huge factors of depression. So everything is a double-edged sword, and getting to know ourselves better will help to appreciate our qualities, our characteristics, our personality traits, and work with them. We can always change. I highly believe that we have the capacity and the ability and the power to change, but we also come with a certain set of innate tendencies. Now that's why if you read your natal chart, your star sign, your horoscope, we embody certain qualities in one lifetime, and we can work with them, make the best out of them, or work against them. So what I also used to do a lot in the past is literally work against my natural tendencies, was rather frustrating, because I was like fighting against the current rather than rowing with it, which is a whole nother topic. But yeah, getting to know your qualities, your quirks, accepting them, and then being self-aware enough to see, well, how can I manage these tendencies, these qualities I innately carry? Is there a way, for example, with my highly emotional center, how can I gestionar in Spanish, how can I manage this better so it doesn't become a curse or a burden, but it's something I can maintain and nourish, so I can enjoy the benefits of it, which is heightened sensitivity, artistic qualities, expression, appreciation of beauty. So how can I make these innate qualities work for me? And how can I work lovingly, gently, compassionately with these tendencies for my greatest good? So that's something I'm learning now, and something I didn't know how to manage in the past, and caused me kept me stuck also in a self-flagellating loop. And I will talk about this looping arrow, I want to call it, is a tendency I have experienced when I was in a depressive state of mind that kept me stuck often. So this tendency to beat myself up for so-called flaws I perceived in myself added to a downward spiral of depression. So one thing, again, I want to keep this video anchored in one topic, is appreciation for yourself. And we can start with this right here, right now. If we can be in the present moment and just, how often do we look at ourselves and really honestly, I do that nowadays. I try and look at myself in the mirror and really tell myself, I love you, without fidgeting, without resistance, without feeling weird about it. Are you capable of doing that? It's a big step, but I do that to appreciate myself more. I, in the present moment, really look back at all of the struggles I've been through, all of the challenges, which only I internally really know how difficult it's been. Of course, people around us, friends, dear ones, have seen us suffer, but only we know how far we've conquered our call it the devil, actually, the critic in us, the voice that sabotages us, the things that says we are no good. That how far we've come in conquering that voice, and in actually coming in touch with a more authentic voice that really is the voice that nurtures us, that wants the best for us. Only we know really how far we've come, how many battles we've overcome, and how we've struggled. So if you can just in this moment, just that one thought, really give yourself a timeout and look back. Hey, I'm here. I'm still here. I've gone through so much. That is one thing you can appreciate about yourself. And I like this notion of forward momentum. Just like the depressive cycle vortex can go down, we can feed an upward spiral too. So if we can find that one thing we can focus our attention on and appreciate in the present moment, that can be the starting point of an upward spiral. And I would encourage everyone to really genuinely find something about yourself that is worth appreciating. And I'm 100% sure there's tons of things. We often don't see it ourselves. The practice is really to not wait for others to reflect it back to us, but to really start seeing it from ourselves, about ourselves, onto ourselves. Start with ourselves and look for something that you can appreciate, and look how really, what a wonderful, cute, quirky, crazy creature you are, to say the least. Vale? So self-appreciation is one of the things I'm cultivating that definitely keep me away from depression, and that I'm only able to cultivate now because I've also gone through a process of acceptance and forgiving myself. So to keep it short, I want to start my new playlist with this encouragement to really start appreciating ourselves for this miracle that we are, and that we've forgotten, maybe, with all the potential and the qualities that we carry in ourselves, and all these wonderful seeds that just need a little bit of watering to sprout. We come with so much potential, and appreciation is one way of nurturing these beautiful seeds we carry inside. Vale? So find something to appreciate about yourself. There's a lot. The trick is to find that one thing just to start off the forward momentum. Vale? And more topics, more aspects of how I made it through, and actually how it felt during the depression, in the upcoming episodes, ¿vale? Con esto les deseo un bonito sábado. Saludos de Javea, Costa Blanca, Spain. I am Magic Mel, and I'm here to share my magic with you. Ciao.